What I learned about the end of 2022, I noticed that as soon as Thanksgiving started to approach, I felt myself starting to slow down. All the efforts that I had been putting in, all the time that I had been putting in for all of 2022, I felt myself finally starting to slow down and have that and tell myself, like, it's okay to relax. You did all of this within this year. It's time to slow down. It's time to relax. And I felt myself slowing down. I started noticing that my momentum that I have been building up all these months, literally for the entire year, I felt my momentum starting to die down. And as I noticed that, that's when I was like, Vic, what are you doing? And the thing I learned about the end of 2022 is, again, as soon as Thanksgiving started to approach, I felt myself not putting in as much effort. Every single day, I do set daily goals that I must get done and have to get done in order for me to continue building up my brand, for example, continue to keep the things that I'm working on working and going, functioning. And anyhow, as Thanksgiving started to approach, I found myself slowing down. I wasn't putting in a lot of time. I wasn't putting in a lot of effort. I wasn't learning new things. I didn't find myself trying to, I was just losing my momentum, to say the least. And I noticed that. And after Thanksgiving happened, again, my momentum was dying down. And after Thanksgiving passed, then I found myself, it's the end of the year. Christmas is approaching. The month of December, I just felt myself again starting to slow down. A lot of the efforts I was putting in, a lot of the work that I've been putting in, the time, the energy, everything that I had been working towards, I felt my momentum starting to die down. And I had to do like a little self-talk, and I was like, Vic, what are you doing? I was like, I had to remind myself that it is one thing to quit and it is another to rest. Yes, the difference between quitting and resting is that, with one, what's eventually to come. If you quit, that whatever it is you're working towards, you aren't going to be able to reach that desired destination, right? If you rest, that the thing I learned from resting is when you rest, you can start to see things a little bit more clearly, right? And I had to have a little self-talk, and I was like, Vic, is this one of those moments that you should rest? Right now I'm not feeling, as I am making this video, I'm not quite 100% my best. Why? Because I woke up earlier this morning with my respiratory not in the greatest shape. I was coughing, I was wheezing. It's the cold weather. It's expected for me. It's nothing new. It's nothing that didn't come as a surprise to me. However, I'm doing the things that I need to do to help better my health. But where I'm going with this is that the thing I noticed is, as I was approaching the new year of 2023, I was like, Vic, your momentum, you put in all this effort, all of this time working towards your personal brand, working on other things that you are working on, and your momentum is starting to die down. It's starting to slow down. So, and I had to think about it like this. Vic, as soon as the new year happens, what are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, I'm going to go all in. Oh, I'm going to give it my best, right? But now what happens is, now because my momentum started to die down, what happens? I am now starting at a lower speed, in a sense, because my momentum started to slow down. I realized that if I slow it down a little bit, sure, yes, take some time to reach out to some more family, some friends that I have been doing, and yes, and take some time to do that during the month of December, during this month of December, as I'm making the video. And I was like, but don't slow down too much. Put in as much effort as you can now, because that way when the new year happens, you already got that momentum going. You already got that consistency going. You already got those habitual habits going. It's not going to be as hard to say, all right, it's time to get this done. It's time to do this. It's time to do that. It's time to work on this. It's time to work on that. Or it's time to do this or do that. You get what I'm saying here? I learned at the end of 2022 is that a lot of us I can't speak for everyone, of course, but I noticed that we tend to slow it down. And again, it is great to slow it down. However, don't utilize your entire year of you building up these habits and reaching these new heights, in a sense. And at the end of the year, you start to decline. I'm going to hear, I don't want to lose you within this video, but anyhow, I hope this video was able to bring some form of value to you. As I make these videos, I personally am learning. I'm personally trying to find ways to improve my communication skills. I watched Gary Vaynerchuk, and anyhow, he always talks about how, like, the thing about YouTube is you're documenting your journey, you're documenting your life, you know? So I'm gonna try to do that a little bit more. Excuse me, not a little bit, but I'm gonna start doing that more and documenting my life a little more. I noticed that my I'm gonna send it here before I start to lose you guys. But anyhow, I love you, I appreciate you. Again, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm trying to find ways to improve my communication skills, find ways to get better over time. Always learning through reflection. I'm always trying to learn through my yesterdays and who I was, and try to bring the inspiration from my actions yesterday and how I can improve my actions today. Anyhow, I love you, appreciate you, and remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.